Welcome.
2, 3 beers and a topic.
I was like, this might sound important.
No, Dan, don't you know how the show opens? We don't open with a welcome. This is the most casual of our shows.
Goodbye.
We're already having a conversation. We just cue into it. It's what we do.
That's right.
It makes it feel more organic, like you're just seeing us at a bar. That's the entire purpose of the opening to this show. And Dylan is probably using this section right now for that purpose.
I really hope so, because otherwise we're just describing things for no reason.
It's just for no reason at all. Welcome to 3 Beers and a Topic, the show where we do the organic opening.
We don't say welcome. Welcome to 3 Beers and a Topic.
You do the organic opening. And then you do the welcome portion.
Oh, okay.
That's how this show is structured.
Okay.
So while we're already having a conversation, so welcome to 3 Beers and a Topic, the show that gets hosted on our Patreon, patreon.com/comicstorian, which is how we pay for these beers. And then gets uploaded to my personal channel, and you get to view it a few weeks later. Thank you everyone who's enjoying it, and we do it live on twitch.tv/eligible-monster. What this show basically is Dan and I both enjoy beer, but we've done what many people do, where you fall into a groove of only a couple beers you like to drink. Mm-hmm. And we decided to break this because we live in Colorado, which is a great craft beer location.
In fact, I actually think at least 2 of these are breweries in Colorado.
Okay. There's a lot of craft beers here, and we are just kind of going through a journey. Also, someone who lives nearby has hit us up, and we are going to be trying to drink with them soon, Dan, and he will teach us a little bit more. He offered to teach us. It wasn't just like a, hey, let's get a beer. It was like, I'll teach you guys.
Yes, which would be helpful because I've completely forgotten, and I'm pretty sure these should be in a certain order.
Right, so we're going to try to meet up with him soon and learn how to properly tell which type of beer is type. Mm-hmm. So at least we have more of a general idea.
Yeah.
Now, it's been like a month since the last episode of this.
It has been a while.
We have done a little self-discovery, though.
Yes, we have been drinking on the side, don't worry.
We've gone and gotten pizza and beer guaranteed every week at Old Chicago. Old Chicago has like 180 beers. I have honed it. I've honed it in that I like darker beers mostly.
Yes.
Either basically almost piss water. Stella and Heineken. I still love Heineken.
Stella, they're both good. We're not talking about PBR.
It's almost water, but it's funnier if I say almost piss water.
I know, but that's also a little implying. I'm just saying.
Anyway, I apparently like dark beers. I've always known I like Guinness, so I don't know why I didn't keep getting Guinness.
You're a big dark beer. I'm a big light beer.
Well, when we went there, we were talking to them, and they said, hey, what beer do you like? And they said the dark beers will put hair on your chest and your face. And I gave it to Dan, and it's not working.
I wish. If it worked, I would be drunk all the time, just chugging these dark beers. But all right, I think that kind of, we've just been drinking on the side. We've been trying some different ones over there. We're going to try some other breweries. We're going to get this guy to teach us some.
So, but what this show basically boils down to, for anybody who may be watching it for the first time, we have gaming podcasts, we have gaming shows, we have comic podcasts, we have comic shows. This is where topics go that don't fit anywhere else.
This is where topics go to die.
To die? And so, we want to do one big topic, but I think today may be a couple minor stories that don't fill full episodes of things.
Yeah, we'll do a couple short stories.
Okay, so
we'll say that they're short stories right now, and then one story will somehow turn into this epic.
Yeah.
Okay,
so Dan, let's start with the first beer, because this is the beer show. We get to drink beer finally.
Yes, so we'll start with the darker one.
Okay.
I'm going to quickly say what they are.
Anybody who hasn't joined us in a while, for the record, do you not like our new beer holders?
Yes.
Look at this.
Mine are.
I took a trip to Vegas and bought these.
You can see his. I have the same, but the beer bottle's in the front. Okay, so the first one that I've got that's on our far right is Oggs FM Alt Beer.
Okay.
I guess Alt Beer is the name of the beer. Either the name of it or the type, because I'm not seeing anywhere on here like, Pilsner, Lager, that kind of stuff. This one is made by the Lumpy Ridge Brewing Company in Estes.
Okay.
So it's 5.5%. Let's give this one a shot.
Hold up. You gotta wait for me. Okay, here we go. 5.5%.
5.5. Made in Estes.
Smells okay.
It tastes more like a beer that you would like.
I could drink this as an average thing. Yeah. I really could. What do you say? It's a lager?
It doesn't say what kind it is.
No.
It says an alt beer, but Bier. So I don't know. I think that is the type of beer that it is. The name of the beer itself is Oggs FM because Lumpy Brewing is the company. So
that was good. What did you say was in that one again? It's kind of got a bitter taste to it. Let me see the bottle.
Yeah.
That'd probably be better. Alt Bier.
Alt Bier.
S is only like 45 minutes away too.
It is.
Doesn't say much about it.
No, that like usually they have, it's this type of beer. Like,
yeah.
But that one just says drink responsibly.
I think it's just a lager.
I don't think that's a lager.
No?
No, it doesn't. Maybe it is.
Maybe I heard you say lager because I don't even see where that was written.
Yeah, I said it doesn't say lager.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. All right, so I guess I'll tell the story that I said I brought up.
Yes, why don't you start
My only experience with a blind date.
Oh, okay. Just remember we need 2 breaks for the beer if it goes that long.
I don't think it's going to be long, but maybe.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is young Benny. I want to say like 15-ish kind of age.
Oh, okay, so young Benny.
Yeah, this is young Benny. I'd never gone on a date before.
Is this pre-Lewis?
Yes.
Oh.
No, maybe younger, like 14. When did I
Okay.
start like dating? Because I don't know if you guys are aware, at least for me, when I started dating, it really wasn't dating. It was more like I hang out with a girl.
Yeah.
And it was never officially like, we didn't go out to the movies as a date kind of a thing.
Yes.
So like I consider this kind of like the first date. I'm going to meet you at the movies. We're going to get a bite to eat. We're going to go to we're going to see a movie.
We're going to go to the movies again.
But you know what I'm saying? The difference between like I hang out with this girl and we're dating and I'm going on a date.
It's like the classic, it needs to be official for you to say this is a date as opposed to we are hanging out.
Yes.
In a potentially romantic sense. Okay, so your blind date.
So
Let's hear it.
it wasn't even my blind date.
Okay, explain.
So I had a friend that I hung out with. His name was Matt. Okay, I'll name drop him. He probably doesn't even know I do this. He's one of those friends that I had forever, and then we both went completely different ways after high school.
I doubt you're going to say, his name was Matt. And people are going to go, I know exactly which Matt he is talking about.
So anyway,
right
like
now.
14, 15 time frame. He was like 2 years older than me, though, if I remember correctly,
Okay.
the way it worked out. Like I was the younger guy, he was the older guy. We lived across the street from each other, though.
Gotcha.
And we both really liked things like Dungeons and Dragons and video games, and that was how we got along.
Okay.
So he was going on this date. Well, the girl that he wanted to date was this cute high school girl, kind of a thing. But she would only go on a date if her friend could also go on a date. And so I'm Matt's friend.
So you got the wingman position.
I got the wingman position. Now, I was told almost nothing about this blind date.
Okay.
I was almost tricked to go on a blind date.
Yes.
So it was pitched to me as, hey man, let's go see the movies. My parents will give us a ride because we were underage. You know, like
Right.
we're not even 16. No one had a car. So Matt Damon, that's what our chat is saying.
Matt Damon.
So we decided to go on this trip. We're going to go to the movies and we're going to see this thing, okay? So we go to this movie and we go there. And on the way there, he tells me about this girl that he wants to date and that the only way she'll go on the date is if he has someone to go on the date with the friend.
Okay.
So I get a little excited. I'm like, this is like my first date. Like, I don't even know if I was like so much dating at that point. It was just like, I like this girl. Let's go hang out. Like,
Let's say we're going out and never actually talk, but say that we're boyfriend and
exactly
girlfriend.
that kind of a thing. So anyway, I'm going a little excited. This is going to be a real date. Like I'm going on a real date. And I asked him, so what do you know about this girl? Like, what am I doing with this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know anything about her. And I'm like, well, so your friend didn't say anything about her friend? He goes, no, only thing she ever refers to her as is my little friend.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, little friend, huh? Okay, well, this is going to be interesting. So we get to the movie theater, and he's meeting up with her, and I see the girl, and I see the friend with her. And it's, because now I guess it's PC to call them that, it's a little person, like 3 foot tall.
She was literal when she said my little friend.
Exactly. It was basically I was going on a date. Is it PC or not? I don't know. They were a midget and they were a little person, whatever they are. Yeah. I don't know.
This
the
is on
for that.
Patreon. I think we're okay.
I don't know the culture for that anymore. So
we're not saying it in a mean way.
But I discovered in this way that they were of this stature and height. And me being, the age that I was like, bro, no, why now?
Right.
What are you doing, man? And it was the most awkward thing ever because you could tell the friend didn't want to be there either.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like she was all excited to meet Matt's friend, you know? I remember we went to the actual theater itself and like Matt and the girl sat next to each other in the theater and like I was on the other side of Matt and the friend was on the other side of her friend. So like, we weren't even like on the date itself.
Oh my gosh.
So that was my story of my blind date with a little person. And it's, it's not a long one.
It's not. It was good though. I liked it. I thought it was pretty funny because that's definitely something that you need to be told in advance. Like that's definitely a detail that it's like, hey, before you hang out with this person, keep in mind they're a little person. Like it. I'm not saying it truly matters, but it's one of those ones where it's like if you hang out with someone or you're going on a date and you're like, hey. My friend's coming, you should go on a date with them. By the way, they don't have a left arm.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like...
It's like, it's an important detail, mostly not to be like, oh, this is so you can run away, but mostly so you go, so you don't freak out when you see it and get super surprised. Give me a warning,
so I'm not gonna go there and go, no, like...
Right, or like, what, like, why did you bring your... No, I'm not gonna say anything that could sound mean. So next beer.
Next beer.
Next beer, okay, I don't know which technically would go first, an IPA or a double Pilsner. Do we go the strongest to the lightest?
This is why the guy needs to teach us.
Yeah, do we go strongest to lightest or lightest to strongest? Do you know?
Huh? I thought it was darkest to lightest. No, lightest to strongest. Because the IPA is an Imperial, and that is double.
No, the IPA is not Imperial.
No, wait, the Imperial IPA would be an Imperial. That's right.
Yes.
IPA is the Indian Pale Ale. Let's just do this one.
All right.
So you don't know, so we're going to debate forever.
Yes, this one is Stone Scorpion Bowl IPA, a punch to the stinger. 7.5%. Does it say what brewery? Stone Brewing Company.
Okay.
Does not, I don't see.
I like Flash Blue. Should go on a date with my friend. By the way, they're Cthulhu.
They are the Lord of Darkness. All right.
IPA first, or something.
Cheers. You're brave to just chug the whole thing. I usually sip it a little bit.
After all the beers we've been drinking lately, there's nothing now. I still don't like IPAs.
Yeah.
It's too bitter. I still don't like them.
IPAs are such an acquired taste.
Plus, see, now you're savoring the taste, and then you have to go back.
Yeah.
We're done.
You're like, kamikaze.
Did you got a story? Or I got another one I can tell you. I ever tell you the one about getting hit by... have I told you the raft story?
I don't think so.
I've told it briefly in other situations.
I mean, yeah.
I tried to make a raft and float out into the ocean, but my dad stopped me.
Yes, you've told me that one. I have heard of that one. You grabbed like random trash and like a mattress or something. And you
it
were
was
like,
a giant styrofoam lid that floated.
That's
my genius idea was that this could be a raft. So I got all my friends and we lived at Quonset Point. We lived at a peninsula over in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. I'm nowhere near there anymore, so I'll name drop that all the time.
Right. Now they're going to know which Matt you're talking about.
And there was like this old rundown army housing area, and in it we found old boards, old styrofoam cups, and stuff like that, and like a big styrofoam lid. Okay. And I attached the boards to the lid. And I remember going to my dad and be like, hey, yeah, we're getting up early tomorrow because we're going to get on the raft and we're going to float out into the ocean. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, no, don't worry. We got paddles. Our paddles were boards that we just found in this building. I'm like, we're just gonna go float out into the ocean, Dad. I'll see you later. I'll be back at dinner.
Oh God.
And my dad's amazing.
Yeah.
His response was, no, you cannot do that. His response was, let me see this raft.
Yeah.
So he drives through this rundown area and walks down to the docks and he sees it and immediately he's like, no. What? No. What are you talking about?
Raft? I thought you meant trash. Like, what is this? You're showing me, kid.
Okay, so what do you got?
My story?
Because these are shorter ones, just quick ones.
I know, I have very...
the lives of Dickel and Bickle.
The Beanie Dickens. Oh my God. I don't know where... Anyway. My first, date was actually someone that I had met on Ragnarok Online. That it turns out they lived in Denver and I was in Boulder at the time. And we met up for a concert. I want to say it was Lifehouse? Lighthouse.
Lifehouse.
Lifehouse.
Yeah, Lifehouse is right.
That's what I'm thinking it was. Yeah.
And yeah, Natalie listened to them. Somebody listened to them.
Okay.
No, Natalie wouldn't listen to Lifehouse.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too much of a story. It was more of one of those very coincidental things where it's like, I'm playing this online game that has almost a max of 4,000 or 5,000 players at the time, and somehow there is some person that lives in the same state relatively close to me. It's just one of those weird ones.
Right.
It's not too much of a story, though. I mean, we hung out, we left, stuff, and then I got picked up by my parents and my uncle and my brother and sister, because all of them felt the need to be in the same car to pick me up from a date. I remember that, though, was one of those stories when I first met up, like her parents were there with her, because obviously it was like my young child is meeting another supposedly young child at this outdoor thing. Let's make sure it truly is a young child.
Yeah.
And I show up, and apparently I was very, very adult about it, like coming up being like, hello, Mr. So-and-so. It's very nice to meet you. And you, let me introduce myself in a very manly tone, which back then was like, hello, this is me, I'm Dan. It's very nice to meet you. Because I was...
Why do you sound like a woman?
So that
Gary's just back there chugging a beer.
That was prepubescent Dan voice.
Gary will never, I'm going to say right now, Gary will never get a better job than the one we've created for him.
No, he will not.
None
of us will. None of us will.
He is behind the camera, chugging down a beer full of gluten. It's a gluten-free beer. But.
It is a gluten-free beer. You know, the funny thing about that voice, though, is probably lower than what my voice actually was. I had such a high-pitched voice.
You were that kid.
I was. There was one time where, like, in choir, freshman year, we had to introduce ourselves on this video, and then senior year, we watched the whole thing, and it's like going through the guys, and it's like, they made us do like 2 snaps, and then we say our name, and they'd be like, 2 snaps, Cody, 2 snaps, Christopher, 2 snaps, Dan! No kidding. Teacher found it hilarious. We repeated that exact video, that 2 seconds, for like 20 minutes of the class. I never knew what I actually sounded like until I heard that. That's why so many times I'll like sometimes be recording and I'll slightly lower my voice because I have a fear that I have.
Do you have like a home video of maybe back in the day of this?
I have like young videos, but I don't have a video like that. I've always wanted to get a copy of that tape though.
Okay.
If I ever get a copy of that tape, I will play it for you guys because it's hilarious hearing how high-pitched my voice was. I could easily have been in the girl section of the choir. I'm okay with saying it. This was
Dan's gonna be a woman today.
So in that note, let's go into our third beer. This is Odell Brewing Company. This is
I don't like Odell. Because look how light that is.
Well, this is a double Pilsner. A double Pilsner, it is 9% alcohol.
Ooh.
And yeah, Odell Brewing Company is up in Fort Collins. Cheers.
Right, cheers.
That's actually not bad.
I would drink it if we had it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't buy it.
Fair enough. I have noticed, like, in all of these, it's a...
All of these, I would drink if they were available.
That, or it's a, oh, I think this is good, and you going, oh, or you going, ooh, I could drink this. Oh, what the... We have very different tastes. We need to find what our middle ground is, like the one type of beer that both of us are truly...
Take a light beer and a dark beer and we'll mix them together.
That sounds like the best idea I've ever heard.
And throw a shot of whiskey in it because we're probably going to need it.
And a shot of whiskey. Oh my goodness.
One of these episodes, I'm going to get my favorite whiskeys and make you taste them all and see if you can tell the difference.
I'm not doing whiskey again.
So
the story, let's tell the story of Dan... almost getting alcohol poisoning from whiskey because he was drinking with Benny and tried to match him shot for shot with whiskey of a 150-pound never whiskey drinker versus in the military, what, 200, 220?
250.
250?
I'm 250 pounds.
Previous alcoholic.
Yep.
I tried to keep up. and we chased the whiskey with beer. So, first off,
This is a dual story, so we both got to tell this one.
a dual story.
So I got to start it.
Okay, you tell your portion, and then I'll tell the rest.
Well, because we're both in it.
Yes, we both have different.
So I forget what was going on, but Dan came by for something with the girl that he was dating at the time. Okay, and my mother.
I think it was a group thing.
I'm pretty sure it was just you. It was like a double date-ish kind of thing at the time.
Oh, if it was, then okay.
Because with Natalie and
Clearly, I don't remember.
Natalie and the
night.
individual ended up watching the Wonder Woman movie.
That's right.
Yeah, and no one else was here for that, so that's why I don't think it was. Anyway,
Okay.
What ends up happening is, so my mother-in-law had just visited 3 weeks earlier or something like that.
Very recently.
She knows I like whiskey. She brought me this really nice bottle of whiskey. Gary saw the whiskey, and it was the one. It was it came in like a green sleeve, and you had to pull it out of the green sleeve. And was it that? No, that was the one that we thought somebody was stealing. That was another one.
Yeah, that was another. No, she brought two. I thought
No, the green.
either that or you left it open.
I don't know.
Because we thought someone was stealing it, but then it turns out that it was just kind of evaporating.
We didn't finish the bottle in its entirety. There was a little left, and I believe it was evaporating. But we
Yeah.
thought someone may have been stealing sips. Anyway, she brought me this really nice whiskey. From what I got, I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick on the internet. Green sleeved bottle
whiskey.
of whiskey, Irish.
It's like very specific. It's this exact one. Gotta love the internet.
Antlers Irish whiskey. Do you remember the name of it?
Gary behind the scenes, it's on the tip of his tongue. Glenlivet.
Sure it wasn't. Yeah, Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich. I don't know how good that is, but I'm assuming good because it's my mother-in-law and she doesn't normally prove me wrong. Yeah, not a terrible one. It's a 12-year a 12-year single malt Scotch is what she brought us. I'm just.
It's not terrible.
Gary
but-
from behind the scenes is like, what do you mean it's not terrible? It was amazing, and it was. It was a super smooth, super amazing whiskey.
Unless you experience my day after, then it's
And so
ruined
here's
forever.
the problem, though. It was a super smooth, amazing whiskey. And the problem is, it was super smooth. Now,
Smooth enough that I was able to take shots.
right. So they begin to watch Wonder Woman, and Dan and I are having beers. And I was stressed about something. I don't remember what. It was business in general. I think Adpocalypse was hitting or something.
It was Adpocalypse, and Benny was stressing out over there are people who rely on this job. There are people's lives that
we made a
was
business
very
out of
worried.
this. Adpocalypse is going to shut us down, and now I feel so
And it
bad.
was the worst of the Adpocalypse too. It was like
So Dan and I are downstairs, down here in the studio before this studio portion was built, because I just got into the house, and we had a whole beer and we were doing something on the internet, and what it was we were doing shot for shot straight out of the bottle. I brought the whole bottle downstairs, and it was just for me to have a shot here and there. I was just having a rough night. I mean,
it did not.
so we chugged our beers down, and we're just going back and forth. Now, bear in mind, one, taking a shot straight from the bottle, never a good idea because you can't gauge your shot.
No.
Two,
No, you cannot.
Dan's trying to match me.
For the record, I didn't actually realize that I was. It was more of one of those polite, like, someone takes a sip, you take a sip as well. Like, it was one of those kind of things. It wasn't me going, oh, Benny did it, now it's my turn. It was more of just a Benny doing it and then probably subconsciously handing the bottle to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was
Now,
actually
here's the
doing
thing.
it for me to put it down.
Anybody
but
who's done shots or drinks of whiskey, the more expensive ones you sip and you slowly work on because they are smooth and they will hit you quickly. If you are not familiar with whiskey and you get a Fireball whiskey, or you get a more crass one, or you get like a really burnable one, you're gonna feel it, and you don't normally drink that much. Now, with it being smooth, Dan and I are going back and forth, and we're sitting the whole time, and we drink almost the entirety of the bottle.
Not the entire time. I was standing up because I think either...
You knocked the pictures off the wall.
Yeah, we accidentally...
That's why they're not
knocked
there anymore.
Things on the side.
So we're going back and forth, no problem. I'm on the ground at some point, like, oh, what am I gonna do?
You were on
Dad?
the couch. He was like on the couch. I don't know. No, you were on the ground as well.
I was on the ground, yeah.
You were on the ground.
I was like, what am I going to do? People are relying on this job. And Dan's like, it's okay, man. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to be mad at you. We're going to be friends forever. And like, this is how the night was going for the most part.
I wish this was like recorded because that would be a hilarious night.
Oh, yeah, he's just like, he's sitting there going on and on. We're best buds forever, no matter what. Even if he has to go work 12-hour days, he's coming to hang out. And I'm sitting here like, people need to go get real jobs.
Yes.
So, eventually, we get through almost the entirety of the bottle, except for like a little bottle, because the bottom is important, because for the next 2 weeks I was paranoid someone was trying to sip the bottle, but it was evaporating apparently. And what ended up happening is I end up passing out in bed fully clothed. Dan apparently at that point decides to give me like 2 glasses of water.
For the record, the 2 glasses of water is something that my parents told me. If you ever drink, chug 2 big glasses of water before you go to bed, and you will not regret it in the morning.
So the reason you get a hangover
As
is
much.
The reason, for anyone who doesn't know, a hangover is not directly related to, I drank whiskey, now I'm getting a hangover. If you drink too much to the point where you're drunk, your body is now, you've removed the water element.
Yes.
So what the hangover technically is you being dehydrated and your body looking to fill that gap of where the alcohol was located.
And like the blood alcohol content, it's going to your brain. So your brain, that's why obviously you get drunk.
Yeah.
But your brain's like, okay, I only know alcohol and I'm still just getting it. You need to flush it out with water.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually don't get hangovers that often because of that.
I do.
But anyway.
As I'll tell soon.
So he gives me 2 glasses of water and I pass out. Now, Dan, what happened when you attempted to leave? Because for the record, the next day was a day off.
Thank goodness.
Wasn't it a holiday? I think it was a holiday.
I think it was either a day off or I asked for the day off. So I lived within walking distance at the time. So me and my girlfriend started walking back. Apparently, I don't fully remember this. In perfect honesty, I don't remember leaving this house. I just remember giving him the water.
You gave me your keys too.
I apparently gave him my keys.
He was conscious of that. Like, I remember everything up to going to bed. Like,
I remember everything up to him going to bed. I remember going to Natalie being like, Natalie, he's fine, just let him drink water. Like somehow thinking that I'm coaching Natalie through helping him through this. So this is what I have been told what happened. So I started walking back, and the path to go back is like this tall path. There's a lake on one side, and it's a huge hill on the other side to these houses.
It's like the hill is used to block the lake, but it's just like up on like its own thing.
Yeah, it's if you live in England, it's like a very miniature version of like the seawall kind of thing. So we're walking back, and apparently there was 3 times in which I almost entered the lake. The reason why I say entered the lake is because apparently 2 of the times was me almost falling, and 1 time was me wanting to cool off. Don't know. So somehow we got back to my apartment. I started to try and throw up in the toilet, as you do. Fell in the bathtub. Apparently that happened. Ripped the curtains off, I think. Something happened in that bathroom that was not pretty. And then eventually I somehow made it to bed. Now the next day, it may have been a day off, but this was also when I was working from home editing videos. Like that was my main thing, so I could technically take it as a day off. I woke up, I was feeling like crap, but I was thinking, oh, okay, standard hangover, whatever. I go sit down at my computer getting ready to work, and I look at the computer and I'm like, I am gonna throw up. And I run to the bathroom and I throw up ridiculous amounts. And the entire day, I spent laying on my couch watching Fate Stay Night Apocrypha, the entire season of 1-hour shows of like 23 episodes. Okay, maybe not 23, like 13. Anyway, it was an entire day of me laying there doing this going, I don't like this. Like,
You won't touch whiskey now.
I will not touch whiskey. The smell of whiskey makes me want to throw up. And it was just one of those days where I'm going to tell all you young kids out there that are planning on going to college, you will have one night with one type of alcohol at least once in your life that will make you never want to drink that alcohol ever again. Luckily for me, this was 2 separate nights because there was another vodka night, but eventually I got over that.
Did we do vodka?
No, that wasn't with you. That was in high school.
So that's a story for another day.
Yeah, that was me
Stop.
Yeah.
Story for another day.
Yes. But anyway, I pretty much almost got alcohol poisoning the next day. I don't know how I didn't, and I don't know how I survived, being perfectly honest with you. It was that bad. I was the most miserable I have ever been in my entire life, and that hangover lasted that entire day as well as part of the next day.
And that is why Dan and I don't drink together too often. Also, there's the double Stella lunch that Dan blamed me for. But we'll tell that story next time.
Okay.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe right here at the Eligible Monster Twitch channel and my personal channel if you want more of this. And it goes first to our Patreon, patreon.com/comicstorian. Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate you all being here. And I'll see you next time on 3 Beers and a Topic.